All right. Welcome to another Woods Report. So we still have issues with the computer, so we're just going live on YouTube until we get that straightened out.
I thought you would be ready to set it up because you said that you
No,
had.
no, it has to be per computer.
No. I thought you would be ready to have this one because this is all I had.
Oh no, I wasn't reminded, so I thought I was using the other computer we had.
At the store, when I was at the store calling you about the new one, I had the one that I was
Oh.
trading in.
All right, well, a lot going on, but for now, the big thing is, and I actually posted it on Facebook, is this whole back and forth with trans cis women being called a cis woman versus being called just a woman. And this all started with Jess Hilarious, the comedian, and T.S. Madison, who's a trans woman.
Which one is the one on the right?
This is T.S. Madison. That's Jess Hilarious. So they can't see.
No, me. For me. Which one is
this?
the transgender?
This. Oh, you don't even know the difference.
That thing is in the front of the one.
There you go.
I'm assuming the one on the right is the transgender. Am I wrong?
No, that's Jess Hilarious.
Oh,
who a lot of people always think she a man. So
I'm not alone.
Right.
Okay.
And that's funny you said that because that's part of the argument that they have. Mm-hmm. T.S. Madison cracked on Jess Hilarious and was like, paraphrasing it, you mad because some people probably think you trans because you look like a man.
So on the left side, that's a transgender?
Yeah, that's T.S. Madison.
Oh, okay.
Well, trans woman, I guess.
Trans woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so anyway, so this from Hollywood Unlocked, they reported, a lot of people reported it, but Hollywood Unlocked is the one I'm looking at now. Mm-hmm. It says comedian actor Jess Hilarious and transgender TV personality actress T.S. Madison. Now, it's funny how Jason Lee is the person that runs Hollywood Unlocked. And he said transgender. I said that on Facebook and somebody said you're not supposed to say transgender. See, that's what I'm saying. They said that's an offensive term.
So what are they?
Well, I said, can you tell me if you're not supposed to say transgender, what are you supposed to say? And that person never answered back. They probably was just being stupid. But he just said it and he's gay. He said transgender. But anyway.
Jason is gay.
Yeah. But he said T.S. Madison have a heated debate after Jess initially reacted to a trans TikToker claiming biological women don't own periods nor womanhood. So there was some TikToker that went on and basically she's a trans woman and she was saying she's sick of, I'm paraphrasing it, she's sick of women, cis women, I guess that's who we are, cis women, that's what they call us, born women, thinking we have a lock on periods and womanhood, on what womanhood is. Yeah, we do.
Because we got a womb.
Because we're women.
We have a womb. We got a female organ, right?
I don't know why. I think whenever people talk about this, people automatically assume that you are what is it when you racist or not racist, prejudice against people that's transgender. And you don't have to be prejudiced against people that's transgender to not agree with everything that they say.
That's true.
That's the same thing I said when I don't agree that a transgender woman should compete in sports with other women. I just don't. I'm sorry.
And that's not knocking them generally.
You running as Usain Bolt in a wig. Yeah. No, you're not. And if you disagree, then stop having male running and female running.
Well, they can't stop that. That's how sports are now.
No, but I'm saying if you don't agree with, like Brittany, the one that was caught over in Russia that came back here. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden she believes that trans women or men should be able to compete in those sports. Mm. Well, then in that case, do away with the WNBA. Why are you having a separate basketball team if you think anybody can just compete? That's what I'm saying. They inconsistent.
Well, they got to be careful what they say because she's playing in WNBA right now.
Exactly.
So she can't say do away with
exactly.
it. That's her bread and butter.
So she's inconsistent. You're playing for a team that or league.
Well, what's wrong with saying even though you're playing for a team and you're playing for how it is? It's like in the time of racism, we dealt with the color fountain, but your fight was to make sure that it's not a colored fountain or white fountain anymore. But until then, you still went to the white fountain or the color fountain.
Oh, I
so
don't
can
know.
you do that? Can you still want the change and trying to do things to make the change? But until the change happens, you're dealing with what's currently happening.
Well, back with this story. Things all began when a resurfaced old video of a trans TikToker named Blessing Rose. In the clip, Blessing said, "When the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. You don't own periods. You don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person. But as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it." Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Because you choose to transform yourself into being a woman. Mm-hmm. We're born this way. So yeah, we are gatekeepers. Yeah, pretty much. And we're not called cis women. We're called women.
What's cis? Is it
cis? Is I don't know where they got that from.
CIST or?
And then they try to say that that's a scientific term. Well, Homo sapien is a scientific term too, but we don't walk around calling ourselves Homo sapiens. So stop with this. We don't call ourselves mammals. That's all scientific terms. Get out of here with that.
Okay.
Woman, man, trans woman, trans man.
Okay.
I'm not calling you tick and talk and that and it and they and dar and thee and thous and hoes and yees and yays. All of the non-binary names.
What were they arguing about?
Well, Jess Hilarious took, she didn't like that transgendered lady coming up and saying that. So she took to Instagram and said, who the F is this going to stand up? Who's going to stand up for us? Stand up for, women, real women, biological women, women who are born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. Right. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? The only difference is you don't have a straitjacket. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't believe just because you transgender that you mentally ill.
Oh, she went that way?
That's how I think Jessica was saying it. And I don't agree with that. No. But what
I was probably thinking by the fact that you're going against what's natural.
Right, that you have some mental issue.
Wrong.
But what I do say is I agree with the fact that women, who's going to take up for women saying, no, we're not going to be called cis women. Mm-hmm. That's it. And they want us to respect them by saying, this is what you call me. Then you should respect biological women and say, this is what you call us. Mm-hmm. We're not called cis women. We're called women. Mm-hmm. And also, too, if you are a trans woman and you meet a man, you need to tell them that you're a trans woman.
Right. You're not born with the parts.
So why would you assume that you could just walk around and act like you was just born a biological woman and you don't have to? You shouldn't tell anybody that you was trans.
Do you still think you need to tell them even if you get the parts?
Yeah,
medically.
So if you was a man, right?
I just got my vagina.
If you was a man, a biologically born man, okay, and you met a trans woman, mm-hmm, and she had the operation,
right?
You would say, well, you don't need to tell him that you used to be a man. I think a man would want to know that and let him make the decision on whether he wants to be with you or not.
Okay.
I think you should tell even a woman, a biological woman with too much testosterone should say something. Let alone a trans woman.
Wow.
Remember Jerry Seinfeld, the lady with the big hands?
Yes.
He wanted to know before he met her. They was building this woman up. She was a model, mm-hmm, and he saw the picture, and she was beautiful. Uh-huh. And then when he met her in real life, she had man hands.
Because when she would touch his face to being sexy, romantic, it was a big hand that would hit his face, and it wasn't romantic anymore.
I think she should have told him that before you meet him. Say, look, just so you know, I have man hands.
My hands are pretty large.
So if I think a biologically born woman should disclose information, What makes you think I'm not gonna think a trans woman should?
Are they back and forth because
you need to tell a man if you can't have kids?
I know.
Why would you think that's something you don't need to say?
You can't have them or you don't want them as well.
So they went back and forth. So then T.S. Madison came back and she says, there are so many real women that get mistaken for being transgender women. And that's where a lot of the anger comes from. I do hope they take a good look at how transphobia affects all women. That was an attack on Jessica. Just the fact that you just kept, when I showed you the picture, you didn't know which one was which. No, so T.S. Madison was cracking really on Jessica, saying you all this anger because people keep thinking you are trans. You look like a man in a wig. I look more feminine than you do. That's kind of what she's saying.
But even with that, let's just say for sake of argument, yeah, she's right. The real woman that she's talking about has a manly look about her.
Right.
But still, the argument goes, whether her manly look, whether she has beard, hair on her face, whether she has muscles in her arms, she was still born with the parts, the women parts that she can still take up for.
Right. Well, somebody said, they wrote underneath T.S. Madison's thing, I respectfully disagree. She wasn't speaking about being mistaken for a man, but that man saying that women don't own their periods. That honestly is just crazy because we most certainly do. I'm speaking of, and then T.S. replied, I'm speaking of her always having a tone towards transgender women. And she's admitted to being mistaken for one. Now, I agree with T.S. Madison. I told you I thought Jess was a little too tough on that, talking about mental and a straight jacket and all this. And I agree with T.S. Madison. You probably have all this anger because people keep thinking you transgender. Because Jess does have a hard face.
It's not really a soft feminine.
Yeah. So I think that's what that was. So, but people were saying T.S. Madison probably should have answered more general since she is a trans woman, generally saying the answer about that.
But
and not
she don't have all the parts then.
No, she did not get
She's
rid
like
of her.
Laverne Cox.
Yeah, and I agree with and the funny thing about it is I think that's how trans women should be. I don't like mutilating your body. What is it? So having a vagina makes you a woman?
No,
but having a penis makes you a man.
But let's say, for sake of argument, the people that are doing the surgery.
See, I don't agree with that.
Now they feel like they've crossed the threshold.
I don't like that.
They have the same thing you were born with.
It's not. It's a. They
don't care how they got it.
You might as well go and buy one.
They don't care how they got it.
I know. I'm just saying. That's why I love T.S. Madison, because she's honest with who she. This is how I'm born. This is me. But she's more feminine than a lot of biological women.
When I hear about people like her and Laverne Cox, I even get more frustrated because you're constantly hearing that politician girl who's a transgender,
right,
talking about all these young kids that are calling and depressed, and want to kill themselves because they can't have the surgery.
That's why I want T.S. Madison
to be spokesperson.
That's why I think T.S. Madison and them should be more outspoken about that, because to me, T.S. Madison has not had that, and she's, to me, is more feminine than a lot of biological women. That's what I'm saying. Having a vagina
more feminine than this chick.
than Jess. I think that's what I'm saying. What does having a vagina make you a woman? Just like a penis don't make you a man. That you can go buy that. So I just feel like the whole argument. The fact is, I feel like people should be able to have open discussions without being called transphobia.
I think too,
transphobic.
We go back to what is a person. What's the word? What is your definition
of a woman?
And that's where it's a problem.
To me,
some women will go into the private parts.
Right. I'm not. To me, I don't define a woman by breasts, because you can have cancer and have your breast cut off.
Okay.
Are you no longer a woman because you had your breast removed?
What defines a woman?
So to me,
you can get your hair cut off and have no hair.
No. To me, what defines a woman and a man is biological, scientific. There is a difference biologically between a man and a woman, between your chromosomes. There is a difference. If you go and you die and you in the woods somewhere, your body goes away and there's nothing left but just your bones, they can bring you into the lab and do tests and say you was a woman or a man. They're not looking at breasts and hair and all that. They looking at your actual DNA makeup of who you are.
And the reason why I ask is that very definition that you just named, it could be a part of a number of definitions.
Yes.
What makes Laverne Cox and this lady feel like they are okay because they fit what they are envisioning what a woman is?
To me, it's a matter of perception. If you're born, it's like Beyonce said, she's a fat girl in a skinny girl's body. If she let herself go, that's it. She'll be probably 500 pounds because her inside, the way she thinks, the way she moves, the way she feels is like a fat girl. She could sit and eat pizza all day and do all kind of stuff, but she knows that if she did, she'll gain weight.
Okay.
So, or the same thing, Lizzo. I think Lizzo is a skinny girl trapped in a fat body.
Okay.
I think she's a skinny.
And a lot of people probably tease and get out, get me out of here, get me out of here.
So she's trying to work out. She's trying to work out to fit what she feels like on the inside. She wants to go jet skiing and jumping out of planes and all of this, but her body is stopping her from doing it. But in her mind, she's thinking, "Oh, this." So I'm thinking people who are trans, in their mind, they feel like they are something else trapped inside of this body. So they try to get the outside to fit what society says is what a woman is supposed to look like, or a man is supposed to look like. If you're a woman thinking, if you're a man, if you feel like you're a woman, you're a man inside, I'm supposed to look masculine, so I'm trying to make myself look masculine.
Right, like the muscles in the chest, the abs.
Right, whereas there's people like Prince wearing lingerie, and he's born a man. You see what I'm saying? There's some men who look feminine, and that's a man. No, he's still a man.
A lot of transgenders, though, and is that what T.S. Madison is calling herself?
Yeah, she's trans. She says trans.
A lot of them, when you do hear about the transitioning, they do start with the breast.
T.S. Madison did get her breast done because society says if you want to be a woman, you should have breasts. You should look just like the opposite. When women want to say they're a man, they get their breasts taken off.
Yeah, they don't want to keep the big boobs saying that they are a man, but yet the one that got pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. It's so crazy. Why can't you just have breasts and still say I identify as a man?
But still, there's
some fat men with breasts.
Yeah. I feel bad for them too, because you be like seeing them shake and you're like, ooh. Wow.
They just a man. They're a man with breasts.
Yep. So I don't know.
I just feel
like
all
in perception.
It's all. That's what I just said. It's all in how you perceive yourself.
Okay.
So but the bottom line is, you keep that over there. Don't be calling us something because you want us to be able to fit in your crazy world that you got going on.
It's so funny that they're trying to change our something where if you would believe in the history of mankind, we were created first.
Yeah,
women
women
argue about that. A man and a female was created first. So somebody can say, well, transgender was around the tree.
It's the same concept that people say, well, what's straight? What's gay? So that means I'm crooked? Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Straight and it is gay.
That can go on the opposite side because you always go Adam and Eve, Adam and Steve, and
because how would the world go if it was just man and man,
two men at the same time,
or two women?
I don't know.
So yeah. I'm done with this.
Okay.
Even in animal kingdom understand that. Yeah, there's a penguin to pop up every once in a while and be with the same one. But for the most part, it's male penguin and female penguin. And if he shows up if it's a male penguin and he shows up with his male penguin, we're fine with that.
Yeah,
but don't think that that's not gonna fly with everybody being like that, because then we'll die off if we all thought like that.
But see, they'll start thinking like this chick did. That something's wrong with them.
See, I don't like when Jess Hilaria said that.
See, she did that. So
yeah, I don't like that. Okay. To say that the difference between you is that they and the mentally ill patients that they have a straitjacket. I don't like that. And I agree with TS. That's why TS Madison came back and said you like a man. Yeah. That's why you mad. Because everybody keep thinking you're trans. Okay. So Wendy says, hello, ladies. That's it. I'm tired of these people so sensitive and so critical. Emerald says, hey, ladies. Hey. I agree with you, Kim. If you get admitted into a hospital, you need to tell them what you are for medical reasonings. Mm-hmm. Wendy says T.S. Madison still has, what does that say?
Porn
fix on the internet as a man. Oh, yeah. And Emerald says, hi, Wendy. Yeah, T.S. Madison used to be a porn star.
Really? A male?
Male and female and trans. Both.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Okay. So your stuff gonna find you now. That don't matter whatever you do. People gonna always go back and see all your stuff. So okay. But yeah, so that's all I'm saying is we're not cis women. And then people say, well, what's the big deal? If you can call me a cis woman, I don't care, woman.
I wouldn't.
I'm not calling myself a cis woman. So just so you know. And if you roll me in the hospital, I'm not going to say I'm a cis woman.
You think the younger generation?
I'm going to say I'm a woman.
The younger generation is using those terms?
Yeah, this young generation. I don't know, man. Sometimes I get nervous because there's some stuff about them that I love, that they're advanced more than we are, free, But then there's some things where they are just dumb. And I'm trying to understand, are they going to survive?
And they're dumb. If everybody thinks the way they do, I guess they will. And the few smart ones that will stick out, they'll stick out and keep on soaring, while the other ones just be like quack, like the turkeys.
Like they don't have any
fly with the eagles, and there's not many eagles out there.
They don't have any like reasoning skills, like skills where you like logic and like it's. I don't know. I'm just nervous about that. And then they changing history in school. They all gonna be just stupid.
I guess
like you're gonna say something like these are slave shoes, and they're gonna be like, I thought they wore real shoes.
But remember,
that's what we learned in school.
I told you, I don't think they think the way we do when it comes to race. Especially when you got, and I was just thinking this the other day.
But history is history.
It don't matter about history. They don't care about history.
But if you don't know
with them,
if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it.
I know, but don't always think that we're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
If you got a mindset that don't think of how race is. When you go to some other countries too, they treat race differently than some of us that come from America. But for some reason, the 20-year-olds, the teenagers, by being with a multicultural and mixed, some of them biracial from different kind of families where they're like 5 different generations of stuff, they don't think about race the way we do. So a lot of times they don't value history and all that we've done and learned. And like even the if you were to talk to a teenager now about what we had to go through to vote, they'll just kind of look at you like, okay.
No, I'm sorry.
And they'll walk away, and you're like,
right. You're
people
saying
have died for you to have the right to vote.
You're saying what I'm saying, and I'm saying it's not good.
I know. It's unfortunate, but
that's not good.
That's not
because then what happens is you end up with the Supreme Court that's there, and they totally are opposite of what you think. And then you get mad and wonder why laws are being changed around you.
I think
because you're dumb. You don't understand how things work.
That's why I thought about the children of Israel and that mindset dying in 40 years. 40 years is going to be a new Supreme Court.
Yeah.
It may not even, it won't be none of those old
It won't
people.
even be 40 years. They old.
Yeah.
Some of them 80 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, but if you don't understand that, a new Supreme Court justice will be put in that's young. And in 40 years, it will still be the same Supreme Court because you don't understand how it works. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
you have to know that. But that's our fault. That's our fault. Because our grandmother made sure that our mother, they knew how to, you know what I'm saying? Like they knew, they wasn't dumb.
They learned the skills.
The civil rights people came under the leadership of our grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Respect, honesty, learning that you have to fight for what you want, work hard, get out, do what you need to do to get done. Those people raised our parents. And my parents were the civil rights people. Mm-hmm. Then came your generation, and they got dumber. All it was
you said my generation came in, and what does that mean about yours?
Worse. That's what I'm saying. Each generation gets dumber and dumber. Your generation, what's his name? George Clinton, guy walking around the stage wearing a diaper.
Got dumber. I think it took 2 generations.
What did y'all do?
I think even after you, the generation started getting a little bit weaker. Our generation was doing my mom's was doing the civil rights.
What did y'all do?
Mine was being revered after the civil rights. My generation benefited from the civil rights. Yours did too. A lot of people started walking into their the plans of what civil rights was supposed to do. So I don't think it started to get dummied down until what? After your generation. They don't think right no more. Like even look at our kids, go another generation from our younger cousins.
Our kids are dumb. The 40-year-olds, the 30-year-olds.
My grandchild.
Oh no, they out of here. I'm saying the 30 something. I'm trying to get where it just went.
My grandchildren are like weak.
Oh, those are nincompoofs.
They're not.
But I'm saying, but because they was come from our kids. Our kids would be 40-year-old right now. You see what I'm saying?
Then what did your kids not teach?
We dropped the ball. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. We dropped the ball. Our generation dropped the ball. And that ball's been rolling downhill ever since.
That's why you and I are so surprised when we talk to some people like our younger cousins.
And they got sense.
And they purchased homes.
You know why?
Businesses.
Because they were raised by people who still had those old mindsets. Think about the cousins who have sense. And think about their parents. See, their parents still hold on to those values and those things that their moms taught them. Mm-hmm. Everybody don't have that now. Mm-hmm. You see? So this just gets worse and worse. But then I don't want to just throw everything away from them.
Don't throw the baby
there's
away
positive about the young generation too. They're fearless. We were more fearful than they were. And the world is more open to them. They're more able to experiment more than we did.
And that's what they're doing. They're doing
exactly
everywhere, every area they're experimenting.
And I'm fine with that, but have some smarts with it, Okay. So I don't know. The best of both worlds is somebody who's young, who still has that young creativity and fearlessness, but yet holds on to some tradition from the past. And I'm afraid because that's going away.
Yeah.
They just to be a bunch of dummies. What's the next one going to be? The dummies having dummies. The little ones right now.
If they're dummied down. But there's always going to be a ram in the bush. There's always going to be a diamond in the rough.
Yeah. All right. Emerald says, my problem with the Supreme Court is that they stay until they die instead of integrating younger justices. I agree.
Like a certain time frame after, like when we at our jobs, we even go so long to our jobs, then they should be let go.
All right. Well, speaking of let go, Joe Biden.
Why? What happened?
No, I'm saying you're saying old. They stay until they die.
Yeah.
Well, Grandpa Biden, today in politics, we had a little thing. We can't do our little going to sections. Biden will designate a national monument honoring Emmett Till and his mother. That's what he was supposed to do today.
Oh, okay.
President Biden will designate a national monument at 3 sites in honor of Emmett Till and his mother, Mammy Till Mobley, both of whom served as a catalyst for the civil rights movement. Biden is expected to sign a proclamation. Well, that went out. Phone heated up. Biden is expected to sign a proclamation on Tuesday, which would be the 82nd anniversary of Till's birth. The new monument will be established across 3 locations in Illinois and Mississippi in an effort to protect places that tell Till's story, as well as reflect the activism of his mother, who was instrumental in keeping the story of Till's murder alive. Isn't that nice? Mm-hmm. In August of 1955, now is this going to still be taught in school? 2 white men abducted and tortured and killed Till, a 14-year-old black boy, after he whistled at a white shoekeeper's wife in a grocery store. When we found out, I don't think he even whistled. But anyway, Roy Bryant and J.W. Milham were acquitted, but later confessed to the killing in a magazine. So they got off, and later on, before they died, we did it. 50 years after the crime, the shoekeeper's wife, Carolyn Bryant, that nut job, also admitted to lying. And she recently died. Among the sites that would be honored is Robert's Temple Church of God in Christ in Chicago, and where Till's funeral service was held in September of 1955. Wow. Now, on the Breakfast Club, they was talking about this, and somebody was trying to be funny, saying they hope Biden don't say Emmett Smith or something, the football player.
Or Emmett.
What another Emmett, okay, other than Emmett Till?
Okay.
Because he's and he says he said the Queen was alive. Remember, long live the Queen. She dead.
She dead.
And then he said some other stuff. He fell over the sandbag at the other thing.
If we're going to excuse crazy from Trump, we can excuse crazy from him.
So all we need is just for him to walk up there, just say Emmett Till. It's sad that we've reduced to just hope that he don't fall. He has
his cue cards, or he looks at the monitor.
But now we're reduced to having just to simply hope that our president of the United States won't trip, and he gets the name right.
We'll see, because usually when he's rested, you can tell he's a live Biden. He's just, he full of little jokes and comments, and he's alert. So we'll see. Hopefully.
What does that last line say from Emerald?
Let's see. That's nice that he is doing that, but I am still not voting for him.
That's right.
Oh, Emerald.
Well, I forgot this is all. Hold on. But yeah, so the
you
fact that
write in somebody then.
The fact that we've been
exercise
reduced,
your vote still.
The fact that we've been reduced to just hoping that the man don't
mess up
is sad.
It's gonna be interesting to see this this whole political thing that's going on with pros and cons on both sides. Anna is saying she would vote if Trump or DeSantis ever even came near to being the person.
And what's she gonna do? Because that is one or the other.
She even said it on The View.
What did she say?
Biden. No, Biden.
Oh, she gonna cross lines.
Biden.
Okay.
She has to.
What did Alyssa say?
Alyssa said she'll write in. She'll write in somebody.
Mickey Mouse?
She didn't say who she's doing it, but she's writing in somebody.
Okay.
But Anna's like, no, no, Biden.
Okay.
That's because she said there's no way that, and I kind of agree with her, because I hate that people get so frustrated with the other side. We only got what, 2, 3? That third party is being.
She wouldn't vote for she wouldn't vote for what's his name then?
Who?
What's his name? The black man.
No. She'll vote for Biden.
No.
She said even though there are a lot of
things.
Cornell, no.
All right. Well, Wendy, you have looked at this story. The next one. Bethany Frankel. She's the reality star from Real Housewives. You remember Bethany? You probably don't remember. She urges reality TV stars to join the actor strike. She's saying reality stars,
TV stars part of SAG?
No.
Then why would they join?
She's saying they should, because they have contracts too, and they sign contracts. And she said that reality stars are getting screwed in their contracts. Bethany Frankel thinks that reality TV stars should join the ongoing writers and actors strike because they too are being financially exploited. Now, one thing I will say about this, I would think you would want them to join it, because that's all we're going to get for the next 2 years is reality TV. Just so y'all know. You just saw Big Boy has a new show from Outkast.
It's not new.
How long has it been there?
When I go to Netflix, I'm looking at old shows.
How old?
It had to been because one of the people I think they did a thing for
2 years ago.
It had to been some
Okay.
because they just did I think they had the 1 year that was clear. They didn't get another season.
But here's the thing.
So people starting to do binge watching.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. And again, I know that there's a lot going on with this. I know Wendy's part of SAG and a couple of other people. You guys are, you want to blow your nose?
I don't have this in my throat.
Oh, a part of SAG. And for me, I know I agree with y'all. I agree you should get paid. The whole streaming thing, your image, AI using it, all of that. AI being able to use your image and you don't have no say so where it's at or anything. They can have you face down and butt up somewhere with your face on it. And you'd be like, I never made a movie like that. It doesn't matter. You signed over your image and we can use it. Wow. So I agree. You're using old contracts with modern technology and it doesn't work. But on the flip side, a lot of these studios aren't making any money anymore. People aren't going to the movies like they used to. And another thing is that they can make stuff cheaper by just doing AI or doing reality shows. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what y'all gonna do, Wendy, because y'all gonna be on strike I believe y'all gonna be on strike for a long time.
They're trying to get this done before the fall, right?
It's not gonna happen. This is the only way that y'all can get off strike. If the big boys make noise, like Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, and it has to be Tom Cruise. It has to be affecting them. And then it'll be a big deal. If Tom Cruise comes in and says, okay, well, I know I have $200 million. Now this is starting to affect me. How long is that going to take for that to affect somebody who's worth $200 million?
Well, they got still a lot to live on. They don't have to even work.
They don't have to work for the rest of their life.
Will Smith don't have to work. So I don't know. That's a hard one. Or they got to get a job like Whoopi. Whoopi works for The View. She's on a news thing. She's under a different, remember she said that she's a part of a different group that allows her to work on The View.
Emerald says, I watch old movies and shows already. And then this is a new person. King Chris Lord says, I wrote to SAG and after prophetic, what is that? I can't read it. This one.
A prophetic strategy from God to win the money they want now.
What's the next one say?
If SAG and AFTRA won't listen to my strategy, I'm sure
I'll sue
the corporations for them and request that the judge pass the money over to them.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is.
I just know right now, a lot of people are not talking about it. They're not thinking about it. They're going to old shows. I'm sitting there watching. I'm getting my money's worth with Netflix, movies I haven't seen.
Nobody's
like,
oh
my God, this movie.
You're going to have to get the camera people and all of them to strike too.
Well, like you said,
because if you get the camera people, then you're going to get shows.
Everybody is striking.
Then you're going to get shows like The View and all of them. I don't even know if they under the same thing.
I told you they're different.
No, the camera people. Whatever their thing is, are all of them the same? Oh,
yeah. I remember. Was it? Yeah, Gail said.
She says Hollywood is on strike. Entertainers are fighting for residuals, and no one will promote anything. Why isn't reality TV on strike? The former Real Housewives of New York star asked on Instagram, and that's the other thing. She can afford to go on strike because she's a millionaire.
Yeah.
A lot of these reality stars is just some stupid boy that they grabbed from college and said, go kick a ball around and we'll follow you and compete for some girl to like you.
And having these shows.
So they're not going to strike. They're not even actors. They just regular people.
But I thought the shows have already been filmed.
A lot of, and that's the other thing
Fame
that y'all.
and Fortune is already filmed.
Another thing that y'all got a problem with as actors is it's a lot of movies that were shelved.
Yeah,
it's a lot of movies. I hear actors like Denzel or other ones say, "Oh, I made a movie 4 years ago that's never been out." Mm-hmm. You don't think they're gonna put that movie out?
There are a lot of movies that a lot of Black actors. When you go to BET Plus, when you go to Netflix, even a lot of movies from other countries.
Oh,
I've been sitting there watching movies from Africa, there's one rich reality TV where
I
they
forgot about
famous
that.
in Africa. They ballers. They wrote they
And
billionaires,
then-
and I'm like, what the heck?
And then the way that they wrote these contracts, there's still some celebrities on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they said, well, it's not violating the contract. And I'm sitting here going, y'all ain't, if we see celebrities on YouTube, you might as well forget it.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be like, I'll just go to YouTube if that's not violating their contract.
And I'm watching you that way. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
You have trouble reading. Are you able to read?
That's King
that
Chris
one.
again.
Yeah.
Let's see what else you say.
The strategy is
King Chris Lord.
Right
the
here.
strategy is don't request money from the corporations for hard work done. Instead, ask for money for freedom and time spent to do the work. And then you saying God won't let anyone earn a living from hard work anymore. We must only earn a living by hearing from God and obeying Him. So don't ask for money based on your hard work.
All right.
Okay. You in a different path, King.
Yeah.
King Chris Lord. Regardless of everybody's opinion, Wendy, you in the field. We got family in that field.
Yeah. Well, no, it don't violate her thing. Don't violate.
No, I'm saying whether it violates or not.
Oh, okay.
We come into a point in time in life, even as a prepper, that your faith, whatever you believe in, is going to be tested.
Yeah.
Whether you are a SAG member, whether you are not.
Yeah.
Whether you are a worker
because everybody gonna have their jobs replaced soon with AI. So we all gonna be in the same
your faith needs to increase, and whoever, hopefully you believe in the one that I believe in, which is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But that's a hard one.
Yep. So I'm just thinking of that.
And that's why he says, don't put your trust and confidence in man. You can't, because it's stuff like this.
You'll be waiting, and then if you think that
they're picketing, I gotta go picket with them. God says, trust me. Yep. But if I cross the pick, what I say, trust me. Okay, God, okay, I'll trust you. But over there, they're picketing, and they're not hiring anymore. And trust me, okay, because they're gonna look at you and go, how you was able to sustain through all of this, girl, guy? How y'all do that?
Yeah.
So all right.
So I don't know. My thing is just that I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, because I can go years without watching television. I don't even watch television anymore. TV, yeah. And I'm hoping that everybody not like me. Yeah. Because if everybody's like me, I probably won't even notice.
You said the younger generation is more like you.
They worse than me.
Yeah. Because my cousins and them, they don't even watch movies, and they watch YouTube.
No.
And I can't get into a YouTube world, but wow, no TV, no movies. I'm looking at old movies that was made 10 years ago.
Wendy says, I think this is going to go on for a long time, at least 6 months. It's going to go longer than that, Wendy.
You think by the end of the year?
It's going to go at least over 2 years.
You think?
I think so.
Something has to give probably in the next 6 months.
I don't know. I think it's going to go
and
longer.
The election, too, is going to make some things happen, because, that election being crazy as it is. Whew.
King says, I am a king. They will hear me. But the question is, will SAG listen to me? If not, I'll get them the money. I'll get them the money myself at Wendy. Yeah, just let him, let King be King, Wendy.
Yeah.
If they feel like that's how he going to get his money, then
that's all right.
Get his money.
Do what you need to do.
I can't connect, so.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not understanding the technical problems.
This yours. Maybe I can connect to yours.
Yeah, let's see.
Wood's family is not working.
Yeah,
I told you.
Give him a call.
Okay, so I think it's gonna go longer than 6 months, Wendy.
But we'll see.
I really think it's gonna go 2 years.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's a long time.
Okay, well, Magic Johnson
my boy
now owns part of the Commanders, the football team, Washington Commanders.
Oh, okay.
NFL, a black owner.
Okay.
He was crying. He was on the thing. He was kind of crying. He was saying that this is like going to be, I'm paraphrasing, but this is history. And now this opens the door for other black men. He said, because now we can show them that we can do this.
Yeah.
He going to get in there and show them we can do this.
They have the background.
It says the Washington Commanders have a new ownership with Josh Harris officially at the helm of a large group of partners that paid $6 billion to purchase the franchise from embattled Dan Snyder. Snyder's legacy, which spanned 24 years, was headlined by controversy, scandal, and the identity crisis that's still ongoing. Remember, they were the Washington Redskins, weren't they? Magic Johnson, one of the main partners in Harris' ownership group, went on to Today's Show last week to discuss the sale and mention the idea of changing the name of the team. So he don't like Commanders either. I think everything on the table, especially after this year, Johnson said, we'll see what we are with the name. But I can't say that right now. BET Online has released odds for the new Commander's name, and the Magic or Magicians is listed. Magic is better than the Magicians. Mm-hmm. Magic is already a basketball team, no, isn't it?
Orlando Magic.
Yeah. The 3 teams with higher odds are the Spartans, the football team club, and the Red Hogs.
Oh, don't do no hogs. What is this? These are names in the running.
People running, yeah. Mm-mm. The top, yeah.
Don't do nothing with pig.
The Red Hog is the highest one.
Oh, no.
The Magic would be an ironic name change, but it goes hand in hand with the Washington Wizards. It does. The basketball team is the Wizards. So Magic would match that. Ooh. The football team would be Magic, and the basketball team are the Wizards.
Okay.
DC's NBA team. That being said, a primary rival of the Wizards is also named the Orlando Magic. Yeah. That's what we said. So they can't do Magic.
Can't do Magic.
Call them the Warlocks.
Oh, Lord.
The witches and the warlocks.
No, that's okay. But we got our women's, our men's team, Blue Demons.
Yeah, that's been a Blue Demons. That could be what the franchise is going for, but it likely won't be universally adored or accepted by a fan base that bled burgundy and gold for so long. So I don't know. They trying to come up with a new name, y'all.
And this is football.
It's football, NFL. So this is wonderful.
Do they have a Knights? Any team with the Knights, the such and such Knights?
Football team. I don't think
and
so.
And it'll be not the what you call that military, the Knights in shining armor, the armor.
Okay.
That kind of.
Oh, okay.
But hopefully, maybe they should do a contest and let people submit.
That's what they did.
Oh, they did.
The Red Hog is number 1.
Yuck.
You really? I keep trying to tell you, people are morons. Y'all think I be joking when I say I think a lot of people in the world are morons.
What state is this?
Washington. Why would the number 1 be Red Hog? Is that big in Washington or something?
I'm thinking the South, the Bible Belt, anything with a hog or an animal like that. I wouldn't think the state of Washington.
That's what I'm saying.
What's wrong with them?
Moron. See, are you going to start saying moron with me? Say it. Say people are morons.
People are morons. If they came up with that name and that's number 1, hogs.
Red Hog.
Red Hog.
For some reason, they got to keep the word red in there. It was the Redskins, now it's the Red Hogs. Oh, Lord. Okay, they was mad that they changed it. Remember, the people didn't want that. Remember? They didn't. That Native American, they were saying that it was racist, and they changed it from the Redskins.
Oh, yeah.
So
the Blackhawks can keep it because I think there is an actual tribe.
King says Red Hog is better than Magic, Demons, and whatnot. That's true. But the name of their basketball team is the Wizards.
Wizards. Can't call them witches.
No.
Warlocks.
Magic, though. What is it?
It don't have to be anything magical. But I thought the Knights. Washington Knights.
Spartans. That somebody said Spartans.
Washington Spartans.
King says, right, Wizards is not good. Yep.
Mhm.
All right, well, Spartan. What about just Spartans? This is Sparta. And then they run out there on the field.
Okay.
Who knows? Anyway, the point of it is that Magic Johnson now owns a piece of it.
Okay.
And they finally got somebody black. And he's tall. So any meeting he gonna be in, they're gonna be like, oh, that's Magic Johnson. He's tall and black. Him and Shaq, those are safe Negroes for them. They don't scare them when they walk in. They okay. All right.
He's a fun guy.
That's Shaq. All right,
He's a fun guy.
All right.
7 feet. He's not a.
All right.
Unless somebody don't know him, he would scare. He would intimidate.
No, but they're not like he's not in any marches or he's not in Black Lives Matter.
Like Curvy he's not coming out of how Curvy.
No.
What is his name?
Kyrie Irving. No. This is
like,
Magic Johnson.
Are you gonna be a good man? You're gonna behave yourself, Kyrie?
Yeah.
Okay.
His son is gay. He's embraced them. He had HIV. God bless him.
True.
He's a good-hearted black man. They'll like him.
Yeah.
Shaq, same way.
Yeah.
They'll let him in.
Yeah.
So you get in and then you open the door.
You still like Shaq, even from his divorce. You still like Shaq.
Diddy was trying to buy. No way they was gonna sell him nothing. They like, we don't want you to have no
Diddy needs to just stick with his Uber One commercials.
They don't want him owning nothing.
Everything is Uber.
So no, he's not Magic is good. Shaq is good. Michael Jordan is good. Ooh. Those are billionaire safe black men.
Right.
That they will be like, we're fine. Okay. All right. Speaking of black men, I wish we could show the video, but we can't. There was a black man attacked by an Ohio police dog during a traffic stop. Now, you know this story, right? Mm-hmm. You said it was a guy. It says July 23rd,
truck driver.
Police in Ohio unleashed a canine on a black man who had exited his vehicle with his hands raised at a traffic stop earlier this month, according to officials. The incident unfolded on July 4th after law enforcement officers engaged in a lengthy pursuit of a semi-tractor trailer driven by 23-year-old Jadarius Rose. The vehicle was missing a mud flap, and it had failed to stop for inspection.
A mud flap?
A report from Ohio State. Now, why didn't he stop for his inspection? They're supposed to pull over at those weigh-in places, but he kept going. So he has something to play into this, but that doesn't mean you should release a dog.
He pretty much helped motivate.
He didn't litigate the damages. Okay. It came to a halt on a state highway about 40 miles south of Columbus after authorities deployed tire deflations. That's the only way they stopped him. That's why that man leashed that dog. They chased that man until they blew his tires out. He was going to keep going. He was mad at that man.
He stopped at first.
He was mad. That's why he let that dog go. It's not right, but they chased him, and people was probably almost getting ran off the road and everything.
No, it wasn't all that. When you would see the film chasing him,
they showed you him chasing him.
They have footage of him stopping at first, and they said only for a few seconds, and then he started to take off again. And that's when you hear them on the radio saying he's not obeying us asking him to stop. So they was chasing him again. Of course, probably more cops now because they figure this man ain't listening.
My best friend, who was at one time a police officer. You know who I'm talking about, my friend. She's a woman. She said she stopped being a police officer because she kept putting her personal self into it. But she said she remembered one time, it was this one guy who always got in trouble, and they had to chase him down.
In the community.
And she said they ran and ran and ran, and she was so tired. So out of breath. And she said when they got him, they was kicking him and everything.
Body slammed him or something?
They was so mad at him.
You take your frustration out too.
Because why are you making me chase you?
And you get in the car, your head is knocked against the car when you're trying to get
and then you hurt yourself. You jumping over a fence. You rip your pants.
You're reading them their Miranda rights.
I'm gonna
grabbing their arm.
You're gonna get hurt.
I'm gonna twist it.
You're gonna get. And that's why I could never be a cop. because I would push your face into the dirt. If I have to do all of that to get you,
God. And I would twist your arm while putting your handcuffs on. Ow! Ow! You don't have to hit me.
Shut up! I'll be yelling at him. I'll be those old time cops before the thing was on you, the camera.
Hit you real hard.
What, Mom? Right, that's what I'm saying.
I
think what happened in this case, it doesn't make it right, is they literally, it said, chase this man 40 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it happened 40 miles south of Columbus. Ma, they had to put those spikes out to blow his tires out. He would have kept going.
He was scared to stop, probably. But that doesn't matter.
I said it's not. There's no reason.
Because I'm thinking it was a.
I prefaced it by saying there's no reason.
I've pulled over off of the toll in a city area, right off the toll, and this is how crazy the cop world can be. Pulling off the toll, car trouble. I don't know what it was. You got state trooper. And you got that local police.
Oh, yeah.
They both coming. Okay, who trumps who?
I'm thinking the state trooper, right?
Well, the state trooper says because of where I was parked when I went off, I'm now in the jurisdiction of the local police.
Oh, okay.
But in this case, I think he was still on the highway.
So they didn't know.
State troopers and the local
both
police
of them pursuing him.
Now, I don't know. It must have been the local who had the dog.
It said moments later, an officer with the police department unleashed a police dog on Rose, even though a state trooper told the officer not to release the dog.
He's pretty much saying, in our own words, I got this under control.
He says
he is not a threat.
He says, do not release the dog with his hands up. The trooper can be heard shouting on the video.
And the brother's coming out, his hands are up.
The video shows the dog running towards Rose, now on his knees. And the video appears to show the canine biting and pulling the driver. Rose screams loudly and can be heard saying, please get it off. As troopers were attempting to gain compliance by providing verbal commands to the suspect, the police department deployed the canine, which resulted in the suspect being bitten by the canine, the highway patrol said in a statement. Now, I want to talk about the canine.
Because you got the one officer, state trooper, I believe.
Right.
She walks away with her hands over her face, like, whew.
Let's talk about this dog.
That don't help.
This dog is racist.
He's a racist
He's
cop.
a racist cop.
He's a racist canine.
Let me tell you why. That dog couldn't wait. I bet you when he was holding that dog.
How they train him?
A
black dog in front.
He probably was trying to hold on to that dog.
Go get that Negro. Go get him. Get him, boy.
Now he know darn well that man's hands was up, and he's trained not to go there.
Right.
Even though the man let him go, he should have been able to let that dog go, and that dog should have just walked over to the car and sat down. The man's hands was up.
Right. So I'm thinking, is that part of his training? Once hands go up, the dog goes, okay, I'm listening.
So that dog, not only should the man that released the dog go on trial, that dog should go on trial and never wear a uniform again. Because if he doesn't understand, hands up means I give up. He's a menace. He's a menace dog. Canine dog.
On the police force. Remember we were in our Citizens Academy class?
We were in a Citizens Academy class. And one of the classes was canine dogs. And they brought in the officer
passed away,
and his name is they're officers.
Yes,
they're named officers.
Yes,
and sergeants and all kinds of stuff.
Isn't that something?
So officer, whatever his name was,
he went in the area where we live.
He came in and he was cool.
Of course, course.
And he was like, "What's up?"
I'm on the field.
And we was like, "What's up, officer blank blank?" And he was like, "He's an officer,
K9."
And they said he's trained to be like us. He can assess a situation. He can see if there's drug. He can smell drugs.
Very good smell.
And he could, if you're fighting or something, he'll take you down.
And his bite is like shooting a gun.
Yes.
His partner has a gun and a what do you call those raid things?
A stun gun.
And he is his bite.
And he's just supposed to bite until you are subdued and down. Keep biting you over and over and over again. That dog is a menace. And he should be taken off. I would put him to death. But get rid of him. He's not a police dog.
It's that situation that's like shooting a black man, an unarmed black
16 times while his hands was up and he's on the ground. That dog knew he wasn't supposed to do that. Not over and over again.
Thank you. For that one female cop to walk away like, ooh.
She know that dog is a menace.
He was supposed
that dog is not supposed to do that.
Supposed to make sure that one maybe grab at his pants or his ankle, make sure he's down.
Bite his ankle and then make sure he's down. That's it.
But
that's what we were told they're supposed to do. Not bite him over and over and over again. That dog is a menace and he's racist. And I'm calling it out. You won't hear it on any other show.
Right.
Nobody else will report this story this way. They keep going after the man and let the dog go.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the dog.
So this man had no control over his K9 partner, right?
He's a menace. It's like having a partner and you say, dude, relax.
I don't have to hit him that hard. Get your knee off his neck.
Yes. He's that guy that put his knee on George Floyd.
Yes.
He went overboard. He wasn't supposed to do all of that.
That poor man. And after all the bites, they had to now do medical attention to him. All because he was missing a flat thing on his truck.
But on the other side, don't put people on a high-speed chase.
Yeah.
And the only way they get you to stop is to throw out spikes.
They already upset.
And you're a black man. See, that's what I'm saying. He's 23. He's a black man. Yeah. Did you not think they was going to not? You're lucky that it was just the dog.
But he said when he was on the ground. He said, why did y'all have that dog come at me?
Because you're a dummy. You're dumb. You made us chase you all the way down the highway, throw spikes out.
He said, I came out with my hands up.
That means nothing.
And he said, 20 of y'all pointing guns at me. You didn't have to stick the dog on me. But if it was a racist dog,
it's a racist
dog.
Nothing
you can
so
do.
That black man, he should have known out of that whole mix, that whole lot of state troopers and police officers, somebody in that crowd is racist. Right. And it was the dog. He didn't even think about it being the dog.
No.
It was the dog.
The dog tore him up. Yeah. So you saying the dog should be in trouble?
That dog should be removed. They have a badge. He's a sergeant. He should be retired.
No.
Yes.
They're going to keep him on the force. Why?
No, I would not. He's a menace.
No, it's going to be his partner.
He got desk duty there. He shouldn't be out in the field.
People are going to take up for him as an officer. They're going to say that's what he's trained to do. And the moment that you release his leash, that means I'm going to do what I'm trained to do.
The man had his hands up. So even if he released you,
shouldn't have let him go.
You're trained. You see his hands are up.
I know.
But let's just say, for the sake of argument, he was in pursuit. Once you grab him by the ankle and put him down, that's it. You don't keep biting him over and over and over again.
How they're trained to when they're pursuing, because usually when they're pursuing someone, that's usually when they're being chased.
Yes.
Now that's why the other cop, the the trooper said, don't release him.
Right.
Because I think once you release them,
yes,
they're chasing you.
Yes.
That means that you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
From the police's perspective. And that's why the trooper man said, he's standing there with his hands up. You don't need to release him.
But I'm going a step further. Did he really release him, or was that dog itching to get away?
I don't know.
I'm blaming the dog.
Oh, I can't.
Until we see the footage of that man releasing that dog, I don't trust that dog.
I think he released him. Yeah.
You saw him release him off? He said the name. He said a call.
You turned him loose.
Okay.
And your partner ain't that crazy as a canine that you can't control him. Down, boy. Down. I see the black man is standing there with his hands up. Down, boy.
It doesn't matter.
Down. And
that dog was in the car when they chased that man. That dog, he was in the car. He felt every bit of that chase.
But he was
mad. So when he got out of there, he was ready to tear him up.
No, he probably knew that, and he still should not have let that dog go.
I agree.
But usually when I see the dogs running, and the canines,
they're chasing them.
They're trying to smell.
That's what I'm saying.
To get you because you're not obeying.
When we took the canine class in Citizens Police Academy, they talked about how they train the dogs. That dog is a menace. That man had his hands up. The moment that man had his hands up, it's almost like they sent him in the house to go get somebody, right? Okay, you still bite, you get him till you get him down. And then the police will come and get him, and then you let him go. They yelling at the dog. He's continuing to bite.
And that man didn't even make a move.
No, that's why I said that dog is a menace.
Okay.
He needs to be retired.
We'll see.
Whatever his name is.
Well,
why didn't it tell us the name of the dog?
Animal rights people are not going to go for that.
They don't like police dogs anyway.
I don't know why they don't.
Because they treat them like this.
Yeah, because they're good for smelling.
Wendy says you all are hysterical. Remember the racist dog on Curb Your Enthusiasm? Yes, Larry David said that. You are so right, Wendy. I remember that.
Only at black people.
James Brown, 1 hour, 2 states. That dog should be retired. I agree.
Okay.
Nobody's talking about the dog, y'all. Follow that story and tell me, do they ever talk about that dog?
Okay.
And him being retired. He should not be out anymore. Okay. Every day, Charlemagne the God gives donkey of the day.
Okay.
We can't do our TikTok because we're not on Streamlab.
Yeah.
But it was a man who was roller skating in church, praise and worship.
You know how they had,
and he was doing like the 1970s when y'all used to have big afros and stuff.
You know how they had praise and worship on the stage at the church.
He was rollerblading next.
He was on skates praising with the praise and worship.
Doing all kind of flips and
I'm sitting there going, if y'all went to church and y'all saw that up on the stage, what would y'all think?
It was funny. So Charlemagne the God always gives donkey of the day. Okay. So today's donkey of the day, he says, a Lincoln County judge under investigation after allegedly scrolling social media during a murder trial.
Oh.
The judge was elected in 2022 to a 4-year term as district judge for Lincoln and Pottawatomie counties. A Lincoln County district judge is under investigation. The sheriff's office said it can't share surveillance video that supposedly shows the district judge, Tracy Soberstrom, scrolling because she's been investigated by the Oklahoma Council on Judicial Complaints, which looks into allegations of misconduct by judges. She's accused of using her cell phone for entertainment during a trial in June over the murder of a 2-year-old boy. Surveillance video from the inside of the courtroom has surfaced after it was leaked to the Oklahomian. Tracy Schumacher, a former judge and current attorney, told KOCO 5 that using a phone or email during a trial is normal for judges and lawyers. But the leaked footage allegedly shows the judge using the cell phone for a purpose that didn't have to do with the trial. Didn't have anything to do with the trial. As a former judge, use of phones and email during a trial is not uncommon. They are utilized not only by judges, by lawyers in coordinating the witnesses, facilitating the movement of other cases, and checking with staff. Unfortunately, the footage shows the judge using the cell phone for a different purpose. She also said there's a learning curve for judges like this one who are coming from private practice to the bench. And while this is a bump in the road, she's hopeful she can overcome it in her judicial career and continue to serve. So she'll probably get a slap on the wrist.
So from private sector to this, her behavior has to change.
You can't be so searching Facebook and YouTube and you a judge sitting on a case, a murder trial.
I bet you one thing, if people are not paying attention in her city area when it comes time to reelect her.
It says she was elected in 2022 for a 4-year term.
So she got 2 more years.
So they ain't gonna remember. 2, 3, people 4, got short 5, memories.
Yeah. She got to do good then.
After receiving a trip from the courthouse personnel, I reviewed surveillance video from the above judge's bench and confirmed that the judge spent hours of the trial on her cell phone, both texting and scrolling through social media.
Isn't she missing like the case? Like if somebody objects or, overrule or
sustain.
Your Honor, are you paying attention? Your Honor, I just I objected. Oh, overrule.
She says, I am obviously concerned. Now, this is how the judge responded. That the judge's response is not to address what happened, but rather move the camera so you can't capture the behavior. So she said, don't have that camera over me, problem. That was her response.
Boy, power goes to people's heads, don't it?
And this goes back to what we said. You elect judges.
You do. That's part of the voting. I know we were talking about earlier, not voting for certain presidents, but make sure you exercise your votes because you vote in your judges in your local areas. This judge, if I lived in that area, I'll try to make sure she gets off.
Okay. Wendy says, Wanda said, Larry, where did you get that racist dog? That dog is a racist. I remember that. You didn't watch that, did you?
I remember vaguely about the racist dog.
So that was it. That was the joke of the day. I mean, the joke of the day. The donkey of the day.
Big time.
Yeah. Our joke of the day has moved to our new channel, Giggle for You Too. Mm-hmm. Giggle, the number 4, the letter U,
and the number 2.
So make sure y'all subscribe to that, our new channel. That's it. You have anything else?
Nope.
Don't forget, we have a book, 100 Family-Friendly Jokes, Volume 1. You working on Volume 2. Mm-hmm. It's on Amazon.
Volume 2 out there. Yeah.
And the link is in the description.
Yep.
Don't forget to like, comment. And subscribe. Always believe. And that was another Woods Report. See y'all tomorrow, y'all. Lord say the same. All right.